universe, media, network, 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 network.
Okay, so we're here today with real estate investor and actual new author, Adrian Smude. Adrian, how you doing today, man?
Wonderful. I appreciate you having me.
Good, good. Glad you're here. Now, before we get into the business side of things, tell us a little bit about your personal life.
My personal life is actually a lot of real estate because I really enjoy it. But what I enjoy outside of real estate is traveling. My wife and I love breweries. We travel right now just within the U.S., but we've traveled a lot of international. So just the common hanging out with friends, family, deep conversations. I'm in a lot of masterminds, and although they have a large real estate component of it, it's the deep self-improvement inner work conversation that I honestly enjoy more. And I do a lot of that stuff now.
You know, a lot of people always touch on that. And it's so funny because even as much as so many people speak mindset and talk about mindset and everything, there's still millions of people who still miss that aspect because if your mind's not right, you can't achieve anything. So yeah, that's great, man. I love it.
I totally agree. And I read 99% now mindset books over real estate, and I spend more time there. And I have proof in little different parts of my life that, oh yeah, what I did a few years ago is working because I am
Yeah.
calmer in bad situations. So yeah.
Right. You mentioned loving to go to breweries and things like that. You ever brewed your own beer?
I have not. I have a few friends that have, and there is
Yeah.
a micro brew home club in my town. I just like to taste it and drink it.
Yeah.
It hits on a lot of my six human needs. I love the milk stouts and the
Yeah.
sours. Like these two extremes that
Yeah.
people usually don't like. That's what I'm into.
Yeah. I'm a huge microbrew fan. I've brewed years ago. It's fun. It's like being a chef and a scientist at the same time. It's pretty cool. It's fun. In what area of real estate investing do you specifically focus? Because I think you're touching on an area that a lot of people don't even think about.
Yeah, so I am in the mobile home with land space. So I see mobile home investing the large piece in three different categories. We've got the mobile home park, and a lot of people think of that. It's got big, sexy numbers, lots of pads. Those are basically apartment complexes on wheels. Then you have the other end of the spectrum, which is just the home. So it's the home that could be renting the land from the mobile home park owner. It could be that you're just basically wholesaling the home. So you're buying it, moving it somewhere else. And then there's me. What I focus on is the middle. It's a single unit with the dirt. So it is a real estate transaction. I buy the home and land together and rent it out.
Interesting. Can you break down that process
Yeah.
versus any other process in a mobile home park that someone else would imagine?
So in most states, if you do just the home, it's going to be a DMV transaction. So it's really not much different than buying and selling a car. You actually have to have a dealer's license if that's going to be your business and buying and selling them, just like if you're in a used car business. If you're doing the home and land together, it's really similar to a single family. You do want to make sure you have a title company that understands mobile homes. Uh, I always tell people a quick test is ask them if they understand retiring the title or making it RP. Now, the verbiage can change in different states, but really what it is, it's attaching the home to the land paperwork wise, not like physically anchoring it down, but it's paperwork. It makes it one unit. If they understand that and can explain it, you've got a title company that knows what they're talking about. Some title companies outsource it to a third-party company that's all they do is those transactions. But besides that piece of it, it's the same as a single family. You're just in your legal description, it'll say with 1972 single wide Fleetwood, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. So, previous to this, I'm going to assume you were doing a multifamilies and single families, traditional type real estate investing. Is that right?
Correct. I was doing single families. I have never done multifamily. And more I research it, I believe that single families just for me. I prefer residents that want privacy over residents that want services. And being very general, multifamily people that live there want services and not privacy as much. And I want to put someone in there and I want them to stay for the next 10, 20, 50, 150 years. I want their kids to move in and I want them to love it and want privacy and take care of the place. And we get along great.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to think about it. So now my other question it leads me to think, well, if you've done single family like that in the traditional sense, are you staying away from that now and just focusing only on mobile homes?
I officially do not own any single family except for the one that is my primary residence. And as I mentioned before we got live here, I am selling that. I'm moving out of that at this moment. And the reason we have transitioned from the single family, we'll just say, corner block home in a nice neighborhood, that is a good appreciating asset. So I have a lot of appreciation. That was honestly luck. I don't believe that we can try to time it, but it's really luck. And I took that money and put it into mobiles. I'll give you my wow example, which was in 2019. I sold one single family that my net income was $384. And then I traded that into 7 mobile homes. So single units with the dirt. And my cash flow went up 850%. to 4,000 something a month.
Right.
That is why I like mobile homes. They are cash flow. Appreciation, you get a little bit with everything. It's demand, but it's cash flow. That's what I'm after in life. That's how I travel. That's how I go to breweries. I eat off of my cash flow, not my equity.
Awesome. Good financial freedom builder right there.
Yeah.
All right. So in one word or phrase, what comes to mind for the reason you got into real estate investing in the first place?
Eviction. I was being evicted.
Wow.
I didn't get in it because I listened to a podcast or watched some video or read some book. I was being evicted. A family member was a mortgage broker. He said, "Why don't you buy a place?" And this was 20 years ago. So you didn't need anything but to sign the paper. Banks gave loans away.
Yeah.
So I bought a place. I didn't know what I was doing. It was a little bit of dumb luck, right timing. And then I realized, wait, I'm living for free. All my friends are paying for the room. So I did the house hacking before I knew what it was. And I was like, this is cool. So I bought a second one. And that one wasn't so cool because a few years later it ended up being a short sale because I bought it at the very top of the market.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. I was already hungry. I already felt what this was doing. I already saw other people, like my family member that had a few rentals. I'm like, you can make money off of a house. That's better than going to Walmart, which is where I worked at the time. And I'm like, I like this one better.
Yeah, really. How was your house hacking experience? I'm always curious to hear how people navigated that situation.
It was wonderful. I actually just sold that house a year ago and had a very good profit. I mean, I held it for 19 years. I would say a few key things I learned is everyone's level of what clean is totally different.
Yeah.
When you have 5 different people in a house, one thinks clean is closer to what I think, where there's actually not dust and dirt everywhere, and others think that clean is once you have like the 15th dish, that's when it's time to clean up.
Yeah.
And so that was a little bit of a challenge. I found that supplying the basics, the toilet paper, paper towels, and cleaning supplies increased my odds of it getting the place cleaned. And that house had a septic. So if I didn't supply toilet paper, they would use paper towels, and that doesn't treat as septic as well. So I just found little things like that. Having as many of the people there and not cleaning up, not prepping the place. Because I used to prep it to try to make it look great and sell the person looking at it. I was like, no, they need to see what it really is.
Yeah.
And more than anything, I would actually try to get one of the people living there to show it, because then they got to meet at least one person. And it worked great. I think there's a massive need for that. It was not a business I wanted to scale because it is a little bit more work than single families. And I'm more about working less hours, at least on the parts I don't enjoy as much, and managing the day to day is not something I enjoy. I enjoy getting on here and talking to you
Yeah.
about it all, but not so much the day to day.
How many tenants did you have in there? Was it just 2 tenants that you would have aside from yourself?
No, there's 5 of us total.
Oh, wow.
I turned the 7-foot by 7-foot laundry room. I turned that into a bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean, if
wow.
there was a space, I turned it into a bedroom. And, so yeah, it has pumped the septic a little more often, but it worked.
Awesome. What is your favorite aspect of real estate investing?
I mean, the financial freedom is definitely part of it. I know that's such a cliche term these days, but really it's the freedom to help others on my schedule when I want. So if I want to take a week off, I don't have to ask someone about taking a week off. And I get to help people. I mean, I'm making money helping people, which is just, it's still wild. It's in my gratification multiple times a week. It's just kind of surreal that people pay me to help them out of a bad situation. And it's awesome. And that goes on both sides, the buying of the property, and then also the person I get put in there. We have a pretty stringent process to get into our properties. But once people are in there, they love it and they stay a really long time. And, there's a whole stereotype of trailer trash, and I can go off on a whole tangent of it's not the trailer, it's the area. So it can be any type of property. But I like to at least attempt to break that stereotype to that, it's the person managing it, and we can be good people, the landlord, or as I like to call it, housing provider.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like, typically on a mobile home type of situations, it falls more into the affordable category. And that is the biggest issue we have in this country is affordable housing. And it's been an issue for many years, and it seems to be getting even worse. So when you talk about helping other people, you're helping solve a major problem in this country. I love that.
I agree, but that is also a topic that is concerning, like, for me, for other people. Obviously, I'm going to do well with it. But I mean, we've got trailers, like a 97 mobile home. They're renting out for $1,800, $2,000. That's not too affordable housing in my area. Maybe California, but not in Central Florida.
Right.
The rents are really, really creeping up. And you're right, that bottom area is getting smaller and smaller because trailers are leaving that area now. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's concern to me, and I don't see anyone really helping build more trailer parks or storage container homes or low-end apartments. Because why would you build a low-end anything when a few dollars more you get a high-end and you make more money?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's the catch-22 of the situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, throughout your real estate investing journey, what do you feel was the most unsuccessful time?
That is a good question. The most unsuccessful, let me answer that from a personal side, is when I worked too many hours and I focused completely on my real estate. Maybe I'd tell my wife, yeah, give me 30 minutes, we'll hang out, whatever it was going to be. And next thing I know, it's 2.5 hours because I dug into work, and then she's asleep and I'm wondering why. So the unsuccessful personal side would be just focusing too much time on being successful in real estate. So having my wheel unbalanced. Within the real estate side, maybe that second property that became a short sale, I've taken the positive out of it. I wouldn't have found mobile homes if it wasn't for that. I grew pretty fast once I found my real tight niche of mobiles. If I didn't grow pretty fast, it would have been not doing very good inspections. I'm more one, I will take that risk. And I have years that we replace a lot of septics because I don't inspect them beforehand. I'm willing to take that risk. If you're buying 1-2 properties, in general, that's all you have. That would have hurt me a lot. But when we bought 4, 5, 10 properties in 1 year, if 2 or 3 have that major issue, it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So that's kind of a learning lesson. I just got very fortunate that it didn't burn me.
Yeah, good. What's the one positive goal you're focused on right now in your REI business?
One, I would say in the buying and renting business is systems, and eliminate, automate, delegate in that order is doing that just to have a better process. We have pretty good, but we're bringing it to the next level. And a lot of that is because then it frees up more of my time for the speaking and podcast and education side, which I actually have more of a passion for. So they're 2 different businesses, and there's 2 different, what one feeds the other.
This next question may actually expand on what you just said, but what's your favorite technology you use in your business right now?
My favorite technology. I would, the only thing that keeps coming to my head is not technically technology, but my office manager. She's my implementer. I am not good with checklists and finding out who's going to create that system, that automation where I click a button and 5 things happen on the CRM. I just think things up, but actually putting it to work is a nightmare. So her and I guess our team that actually does all that. I can't even tell you what programs that it is. I just learned that you find who's really good at it and you hire them.
There you
pay
go.
them. Stick with what you're good at.
Right. What's your current portfolio look like these days?
We take care of about 30 properties, and take care of means we could own them, and we also do some master leasing. Some people call it sandwich leasing. I rent a property from you, and then I have the right to sublet it out. We've got some really long-term, like 40-year leases on some properties, and it's relatively low debt. And when you have relatively low debt, you have more cash flow, and you don't need as many properties, is the way I see it.
Sounds beautiful. Yeah. Now, you just recently released a book. What's that book?
It is How to Buy Mobile Homes, the Unorthodox Guide to Capitalizing on a Hidden Niche in Real Estate Investing.
Now, what drove you to write that? Because a lot of people they're in this business for years and they never write a book. What inspired you to write that?
My friends were actually asking me last night, my non-real estate friends, that exact question. The number one reason is because no one thought I could do that. I didn't think I could write it. I was in remedial classes through all of schooling, and reading and writing were not my strong suit. So I like to prove people and myself wrong of like what I can't do. I go after it. So that's the real reason. There is a little more spreading education. I've learned from a lot of my mentors. Been just so fortunate to have the awesome life I have, especially so young. So if me and many other people don't pass that on, it dies. And information that dies, I think, is a sin. So like platforms like you have a podcast here and you're spreading that information. I don't want to do what you're doing because it's work, but I love to get on here and share. So we both have such an important role. It's really spreading information. It does let people know about my classes and stuff, but it's really, I wrote it for the filter of give information. And it tells my story, inspiring that if I can do it, so can you. Just showing that it's nothing fancy that I did. I just took action over and over and over and asked people for help over and over and over and figured it out.
Perfect. I love that. Love it. So, Adrian, if people want to get in contact with you, work with you, throw some deals in your lap, how do they get in touch with you?
The easiest way is to go to adriansmude.com, ADRIAN, S, M as in Mary, U, D as in dog, E.com. And that basically shoots you both directions. It shoots you to my education page, but it also shoots you to my mobile home buying page. And the one reason I did that is because you should follow tons of people in the same space, kind of take what they're doing, regurgitate it into your personality, and use it. I'm not some marketing genius. I follow a bunch of people and take their stuff and turn it in my personality. I'm not trying to recreate the wheel here. So that's why I put it there. I want people to find what they like in it and reuse it.
Since entering into the real estate investing world, what are you most grateful for?
The time freedom and the location. I use the term geographically free. I really built the business that I can do it from anywhere. And I've done deals while I'm in Europe and other states, and I'm not a virtual wholesaler. I'm a buyer, and I rely on a team. So yeah.
Yeah, you ever think about hopping into a van and living the van life?
I'm going to do it in a car, actually.
Oh, look at that.
I'm going to this summer drive around speaking and teaching and visiting friends
Yeah.
in a Honda Civic. And if I really love it, then maybe I will buy a van. And I'm very fortunate that was my decision, because the Honda Civic's going to do better on fuel than that van would.
Right.
Less comfortable, but the fuel economy will outweigh it.
Before I hit you with the last question, just want to tell you, thank you very much for being on the show today. Glad you got the chance to make it. We had a little scheduling issue, but it worked out really good, and I really appreciate it.
Of course.
All right, finally, Adrian, what's your definition of real estate investing success?
Building a business that truly serves your life, and I mean your personal life. So to me, building a business that is 60, 80, 90 hours a week, I will argue to almost everyone that does not serve your personal life. I know a few people that I believe they truly love it that much, that's what they want. I think so many of us think that we love it because we haven't built a personal life. So finding your personal why in your personal life first, and filtering the entire business through that.
Successors, I hope you've enjoyed my quick conversation today, and I hope you've gained just a little more insight into achieving your financial freedom and reaching your goals. For more real estate investing content like this and a lot more, please visit UnitedStatesRealEstateInvestor.com. That's UnitedStatesRealEstateInvestor.com. Thanks for listening, and as always, stay grateful, stay successful, and be free. Music by Stream Beats.